Richard Goodall.
Richard, I'm gonna tell you, man, I loved you. And I found you on TikTok. Obviously, like that to me is when it was super like viral, and like you come out and you have no expectation, and then I love that story. What's that first moment like, Richard, when you walk out and see those 4 judges in their face?
Total fear.
Yeah.
Total fear.
And do you remember it, or because I did Dancing with the Stars and I don't remember my first dance. I kind of blacked out for most of it because I was so nervous. Do you remember all of you walking out there and singing, or is it a blur?
I do. There's a small story about that. As I'm getting ready to walk out on stage, first off, my interview, I was like, I don't want to talk to Simon. And they were like, okay. Of course, they make me talk to Simon. I'm heading out on stage. Senior producer, her name's Meg, comes up to me just before I hit Terry Crews and get my microphone. And she says, if they ask, whoever's interviewing you, if they ask what song you're going to sing, don't tell them. I'm like, I'm already nervous. I'm like, so what do I say? And she says, I don't care. Just make it up. And yeah, so I walk from there to Terry Crews, say a little bit there, and then I get the microphone and I walk out there. And I'm all by myself. I've never been on a plane, never been west of Missouri. And it's that fight, grind, repeat thing that made me just walk out there, give me the confidence to say, here I am.
How nervous were you walking out right before you sang? Was it fit? Could you feel it physically?
Yes, absolutely. And you can tell by the time I'm talking to Simon and then that first beginning piano riff starts, and then after I'm done with singing, I pat myself on the chest, back up, and I'm back into shell mode. But when the music's playing, I'm good. I can do just about anything.
So you feel comfortable. You actually felt comfortable singing. It was the pre and post that made you most nervous.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Your kids at the school, they really are the ones that encourage you to sing?
Between them and my wife, yes.
Yeah, that's the hero right there. Your wife. Tell us about her.
My wife said, as soon as if they put plane tickets on your phone, you got to go. And I'm just like, but I don't have any. I won't have you with me. She's like, just put your big boy pants on and get out there and do it. You know what you're capable of.
How did you get on the show? Did you do the online or did you go in person? I guess you didn't go in person because you hadn't flown.
Initially, in 2009, I tried out for the show, and it was what they call cattle calls. I'm sure you know about that. Whereas you just stand in line with everybody, and you just tell your story, and you sing your song. And so I didn't make it past the first round on that. But just like I said before, I'm a fan of your books. I read your second one first, and I'm about a little over halfway through your first one. The fight, grind, repeat mantra is key. I didn't know it until I read your books, but I still kept singing. I kept doing what I always do, and whatever happens, no expectations. You just go out there and you give it your best, and absolutely.
Is there a moment where, because the key to this show is the crowd. When the crowd gives you that feedback, they like you, then the judges are like, well, we may or may not like them, but if the crowd loves them, that could be the factor. Where like The Voice, they flip chairs. When I was on Idol, everybody is different. But this one is about the crowd coming alive. When you're singing, you know that because you've watched the show. When they start to cheer, are you like, okay, now we got this?
Well, first of all, we're talking about the audition round. Nobody knew what to expect, and when I watched that video back, it kind of makes me have chicken skin. And so yeah, when I hear the people screaming when I'm done at the end of the audition round, it just I just have to take it in, because I don't think I'm capable of all that stuff. And to see myself, it's kind of like seeing myself in the third person. So, but I've been singing to the kids for years. Just about every single year I've worked as a janitor, custodian. singing for years and never dreamed that I would be blessing people, making people, having people come together the way they are. It's just mind-boggling to me.
There's a point in the show where they go, okay, you've made it, because you did have to go sing. Then it got real. It wasn't just the audition round, but now they like take care of your clothes. They make sure you get good food to eat. Like that's a whole shift, right? Where you're working all the time, you're practicing, and you're tired, but they're taking care of you. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty wild to see yourself in that
Did you
in
have
that
to say
position.
on like clothes? They bring you clothes and you get to pick. Like, how did it work for you, especially wardrobe and style wise?
Well, for me, it was they took me downtown in Koreatown in Hollywood area, and there's a guy in a little shop who made my last three shirts. And I didn't want to be flashy. I'm just a regular person and I'm not fancy. And I proclaimed it. And so they kind of gave me the working class rock star treatment. And the guy turned out to be a really good tailor, and he does all the clothing for Dancing with the Stars, by the way.
I know him.
So
I
it's
know.
pretty wild.
I know him well, and
Really?
he does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's same guy forever.
Wow.
And an
Oh,
old
that's funny.
old shop.
Yeah.
You walk in, it's everywhere. Pictures of
So you've
everybody
been
he's
there?
ever. Oh yeah.
Oh.
I've been there many. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Richard and I are cut from the same cloth. No pun intended. So Rich, the show goes and you're doing the real competition. You're singing. Now you're singing against folks basically. The final episode, before they announced that you won, did you feel like you had a good shot?
No, no expectations. I've never had any expectations. Every time I saw myself getting through each round, I no, I had no expectations. I didn't think I was all that in a bag of chips. Still don't. I'm just a regular person who happens to sing okay, I think.
What about performing growing up? Like, did you ever have a dreams of being a singer, and did you ever play like bars and clubs?
I wasn't really that person until I've always done like karaoke contests. I did country music contests. I did gospel music in a gospel trio, Southern gospel, for about 8 years in two different gospel trios. And then when the video that sparked all this came out, I had people in my area wanting to have me, be the lead singer for their band. And so I finally got one good together, and I mean, we were good and tight. And then the show kind of took off, and we kind of got separated for a little bit. So we're trying to regroup,
Hey,
plus do
you're,
other things
you're
now.
Zach Morris and Zach Attack. You got to go do your own thing now, Richard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
happened? So you come back to school. What happens? Or have you gone back to school? And what is everybody? How everybody reacting?
Absolutely. I went back every single time. In between shows. I worked. And now the kids are, yeah, I mean, it's just like, oh, that's Mr. Richard. But after the first audition, yeah, I was signing sneakers and cell phone cases and
That's
doing
awesome.
all kinds of stuff. And then I started touring the elementary schools and middle schools here in town. I mean, just the kids memorizing "Don't Stop Believing," and I'd quit singing and they'd keep singing. If you've seen some of those videos, it's amazing because I'm still keeping this music alive.
When you would be at school singing and the kids were like, "Hey, you actually really have a great voice." What would you be singing? Was it casual? You kind of like whistle while you work and they pick up on it? And what were you singing?
From about 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., the school belongs to me. And about around 7 a.m., that's when teachers start coming in. So I'd be belting out every morning, not thinking that, this is me warming up for a big moment when I turn 54 years old and get on a TV show. I'm just doing what I've always done for the kids in this area. And it's usually God Bless the USA. And in 2022, it just happened to be Don't Stop Believing because the teacher said, hey, pick whatever song you want. And I'm just like, okay. So, and that's what sparked the whole, it took 2 years, but I finally made it.
It's weird when it's all over because you're like, it's hype, 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 and then it's back home and normal and like the adjustment process. So are you working now again, and are you going to tour? Like, how do you balance being Mr. Richard and like freaking Richard Goodall, you know?
Well, I think the corporation's got enough good press out of it. I'm completely out of sick days, vacation days, and everything. But whenever I leave to go do these shows, I'm making money. But no, I'm still at the school. I'm still a school employee. I'm still on their health plan. I'm the same guy. I just got to be on TV, and now people are asking me to go out and sing on a more grander scale with a Vegas band. So, I mean, wow.
A lot of people reach out that you hadn't heard from in a long time.
Not really. And those that have, I mean, I've talked to them, but I understand kind of why they're reaching out too. So, but no, I've not had any long lost relatives come up and want, no, it's nothing like that.
Do you get the money immediately?
It took about a month or so. They expedited it pretty well.
They tax it?
I took the lump sum. Yeah, taxes taxes kind of took over there, but yeah, I mean, we paid cash for our house. We got a new roof on our house. We were very frugal with our money and how we spent it, and yeah,
That's cool.
eternally grateful. Angela and I are both eternally grateful. So happy, and yeah, just amazing.
So people can audition. If you're listening to this and you're like, I saw Richard sing and that motivated me. So you can actually audition and submit a video. So agtauditions.com is the website where you can do that. So agtauditions.com. You can also do it in person in LA. Well, Rich, what would you tell somebody who wants to try out for the show?
There's absolutely no better time to try out than now because I mean, proof's in the pudding. If somebody regular Monday through Friday janitor for 23 years can get up there and try out and make it and then end up winning the whole doggone thing. I mean, anybody can try out. But they could before, but to me, I think it's more of a letting people know that it's not all about professional, because oh my gosh, I was as raw, still am in a lot of ways. I was as raw as could be. So if I can try out and win it, anybody can.
So
Absolutely
auditions,
anybody.
yeah, agtauditions.com, and you can the January 12th in LA if you want to do it there, but agtauditions.com. And then if you guys want to see Richard, you can go to thesingingjanitor.com. January 17th, Troy, Ohio, the 19th, Greensburg, Pennsylvania, and April, Anderson, Indiana, doing some other Indiana dates. Go to thesingingjanitor.com. TikTok, I found you and then was obsessed. It was awesome. And so once I watched like the first after you auditioned, it knows to feed me more Richard videos. My algorithm was like, so I got every performance and I was rooting for you. So, and then my final thing is, here are my keys. And I have a lot of keys and I kind of get made fun of, but do you have a lot of keys since you're a janitor? Is your ring bigger than mine?
I do. Mine is bigger than yours.
Good.
Sorry.
They make fun.
I'm at a middle school, so you got more keys.
Good, because they make fun of me for all my keys, and now I'm not the most keyed man on the show right now. Richard, thank you so much. Congratulations. Guys, go follow Richard on Instagram, Richard at Goodall, and tell your wife we say hello. I know you credited her and as being your biggest cheerleader and advocate, so tell her we said hello, and congratulations, and hope to see you again soon, buddy.
Thank you. I'm a big fan.
Thank you very much. Really good to talk to you. Bye, Richard.
Yes.